Hello, I'm going to make for you my cream cheese pie crust, and I haven't made this in a long time, so I thought I would share it with you since I decided I was going to use it. And this is 8 ounces of cream cheese cut up into cubes. This is 2 sticks of butter cut up, and this is 2 cups of Jiffy mix, all-purpose baking mix. You can use any all-purpose baking mix. I just happen to really like Jiffy the best. And another thing that I'm going to go ahead and add to this after all this is mixed up is some spices, and that is cinnamon, some cloves, a little bit of nutmeg, and ginger. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do, and you can do this by hand. I've done it by hand many times, but I have my little Ninja, and you can use a food processor, mixer, anything you want. But I happen to have a Ninja, and I'm going to do that. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to add this. And then at a little bit of time, I'm going to add these two until it's all mixed up and crumbled. So I'm going to show you that. So here's my dough all mixed up. And the reason why I added the cinnamon and ginger and such is because I'm making these for sweet pies. And if you're not making sweet pies, then you can opt out of that. But here it is. And this is enough for 2 9-inch pies. So I'm going to cut this in half. I'm going to roll it in a ball, and I'm going to stick it in the freezer for about 10-15 minutes. And then after that, I'm going to take it out of the freezer, and I'm going to flatten it out for my pies. Here is the next stage for the pie crust. As you can see, I already did one, and here's the other. I have lightly floured a cutting board, and I'm just kind of patting it out. You can use a rolling pin. Make sure you really flour your hand or rolling pin when you're patting it out. So let me pat this out, and then I'm going to show you how to easily get it into the pie pan without breaking it all up. Here's my pie crust flattened out, and what you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to fold this, use both hands and fold it in half, and then fold it in half again, and you're going to be able to lift that up and put it in the bottom of your pie pan. Here you can see I have folded it up, and I'm about to lift it into the pie tin. And here is my pie crust in my pie tin. And now all I have to do is unroll it back. And I'm going to use 2 hands, so I'll have to put the camera back down. Here is that pie crust in there. And what you're going to do is you're just going to work in the places that it's not reached the top. You're just going to work it over. And I actually think this is a little bit too thick. So don't be afraid to just kind of really push it over like that. So let me finish that, and I'll show you what I have. So this is still a little bit rough, but I wanted to show you what I do with that extra. You just kind of pinch that crust off there, depending on how thick you want it. You're going to toss aside that extra. And now what you can do is if you want, you can go around and stick to your fingers like that, or you can take a fork and just go around with it like that. I'm going to go ahead and show you what I do with the extra crust. Here's my extra pie crust, and what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to sprinkle a good portion of flour on this, flour my hands up, and then I'm going to flatten it out. Here is that extra pie crust laid out, and what I'm going to go ahead and do with this is you can add preserves, a marmalade, or you can add cinnamon and sugar to this, and then you're going to go ahead and take a knife and you're going to cut slits going down, and then you're going to roll them up into tiny little rolls. So if you do the cinnamon sugar, they're just going to be like little cinnamon buns. As you can see, I just went ahead and did a thin layer, and if you do a preserve or a marmalade, you just want a really thin layer. Otherwise, you're just going to kind of have a gooey mess. Here it is, cut up into little strips, and then I'm going to go ahead and roll it. Here are my little Cinnabons, and I sprinkled a little bit of pumpkin pie spice on top of them. I'm going to stick them in the oven at 375 for about 7 to 10 minutes. It just depends on how big you made them and how many they are, but these will cook fast, so you got to watch them a little bit. Here are my Cinnabons straight from the oven, and you can see they're just starting to turn brown, and that's when you know they're done. And you can pour maple syrup over this, or put some jam or preserves, whatever you like on top.